What's up? It's your boy Reemus, back with Reemus Boxing News. And today, of course, we're covering the fight last night. It was a banger, guys. It was a classic. If you didn't watch it, I would advise you to check it out. And if you don't want to know the results or anything like that, for whatever reason, turn off the video because I'm about to spoil it for you. But we're talking about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder last night engaging in the third and or maybe the final piece to the trilogy of their three fights, of course. And it was an exciting one. You know, we can talk about, different things like, do we really think they're the best of this era and all of that stuff. But in terms of the quality and excitement, let's talk about the excitement of the fight. We're going to say that was a contender for fight of the year for sure. So if you don't know, Tyson Fury defeated Deontay Wilder inside 11 rounds. Now, this is how the fight went. Third round, Tyson Fury knocks down Deontay Wilder one time. Yeah, it was one time. But in the next round, Tyson Fury is knocked down by Deontay Wilder twice. So already, just in the first few rounds, we're like going back and forth. We're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Now, up until this point, Deontay Wilder had been talking about how of course, telling us that he's on this new training regime, learning new techniques. And we're like, finally, after like a decade of engaging in this sport, now you're actually learning how to properly box. But the question was, is he going to be able to continue that for the duration of the fight? And in the first couple rounds, I don't know if you remember, but we did see a bit of a different Wilder because he was trying to jab to the body. He was trying to stay controlled. He was trying to, I believe, set up that right hand. But to be honest, the belief was that he would probably revert back to his old ways. And the way I saw it was by the third and fourth rounds, he was reverting back to his old ways. Even, you could even say by the second round, but I'm just trying to give him a little bit of credit. Because once he really got hurt, I didn't really see that same jab to the body. I didn't really see any proper setup for the right hand. That said, when he caught him in the fourth round and dropped Tyson Fury twice, it kind of just was the old Wilder. So it did seem to work for him. But the reason why he wasn't able to continue with his game plan, I believe, is because he was tired because of the extra weight that he had. And I've heard some people say, well, the extra weight he had tired him out, so that's why he shouldn't have got the extra weight. But you can't really say that in a way because, to be honest, if he didn't put on extra weight, it still would have been a risk because he would have been smaller. Tyson for sure would have leaned on him. So I do think he would have maybe had more speed and he would have kept the power because he's just a power puncher. But at the same time, it's like he had to take a risk. He had to do and just change up his game plan and try another risk. So what he did is he put on weight to try to compete almost with Tyson Fury's leaning on him and all of that stuff so he doesn't get tired, because that is tiring you out. But then he ended up getting tired out anyway in the form of having those big muscles, and by the fourth round he was gassed. But when he did knock Tyson Fury down, you could see that energy come right back to him. So then now let's give credit to Tyson Fury, because with Tyson Fury, he really did take those punches, get up, and it makes me think, if Deontay Wilder cannot knock out Tyson Fury, I know he's a little bit wild and stuff. Maybe someone like AJ would be more controlled with his finishes, but he actually does have the capability to get up. So I don't know. And then on the other hand, Deontay Wilder always looked shaky when he was getting punched. As soon as Deontay Wilder was getting caught with one or two blows, he looked as if like he has no defense. He can't fight going backwards at all. He's one of the worst fighters I've seen going backwards. But anyway, we go on to we talk about the heart of Tyson Fury and his ability to get up in his chin. Deontay Wilder took massive blows from the 5th round basically to the 10th and 11th round. It just looked crazy because those blows would have demoralized a lot of other guys, and Deontay Wilder just kept coming back. So we got to give him credit for that. He got knocked down in the 10th round. He got up, this guy was, I believe, willing to die for that fight. So that is what I like to see just from a fan's perspective. 11th round. It would have been nice if he could have finished the fight just to punctuate that heart he was showing. But to be honest, the ending was imminent. You know, it was always gonna come in a way because he was too tired. You can't fight someone like Tyson Fury with that big of a guy tired. So yeah, the fight ended in the 11th round, a stunning right hand, but it wasn't stunning from the perspective that it was thrown so great. It was more stunning just because of the effect it seemed to have on Deontay, because Deontay was tired. He was kind of not really looking and keeping his body like center so that he could see the punches coming. Every time he got punched, he was like, you know, going all the way around. But yeah, in the end, it was a stunning knockout, just the way it seemed, just the way it looked. But yeah, Tyson Fury, he deserved it. He basically has cemented his place at the top of the heavyweight division, at least for now, because of course AJ lost and Usyk's a newcomer. He's beat the most fearsome puncher in boxing history, so he deserves that credit. And then the last thing we can say is Deontay Wilder is a little bit of a sore loser, because even, you know, the second fight you can say, oh, there was this excuse, blah, blah, blah. This fight, there was no excuses, and Deontay Wilder didn't want to shake Tyson Fury's hand after the fight. It's a bit disappointing, because after a war like that, you just want to see two fighters just shake, congratulate each other. You got hurt, I got hurt. We made a classic. Boxing fans are going to watch that in 50 years, because they are. But yeah, it didn't happen. And then the last thing we can say for sure is, what is next for Tyson Fury? Dillian Whyte is supposed to be mandatory now. I say supposed to because you never know with these things. But if he comes through his fight with, I believe, Otto Wallin, who is someone that Tyson Fury has already defeated before. If he comes through that fight, he's supposed to fight Tyson Fury as long as the winner of AJ and Usyk's rematch, I think, doesn't make a fight with Tyson Fury for the Undisputed. So if they make a fight for the Undisputed, that will happen. But if they don't, Whyte is supposed to have the fight as long as he wins. The other one is Ruiz. If nothing comes through, then Ruiz will fight. But we'll see. We'll see if that happens. You know, I don't really need to see the Ruiz fight with Tyson Fury right now. But I want to know what you thought of the fight. Comment down below and let Reemus know. Peace.